But let's move on. Let's move on to our next quick topic headline. Just very briefly, figuring it's important, and it's going to probably make a big dent in the esports world. I don't know how legitimately, but Warzone is going to mobile. It's releasing this coming week, I believe on the 21st of March. Overall, Warzone's already a pretty big, it's the Call of Duty game right now. Call of Duty League is playing on it. It'll be cool to see how this impacts an esport or promotional events around it. But I don't think serious players really play on mobile because Call of Duty servers are already kind of sketchy, and then mobile is then secondary, also sketchy. Nick, do you have any sort of thoughts about mobile games in the competitive scene? Are they faux pas or are they legit?
Not like Pokemon could be a mobile game, right? Like Pokemon is the type of game that could be like a mobile game and succeed in a competitive aspect, and it would probably do a lot better. Like Hearthstone tried to do this, where it was like the fireside gatherings where you would bring like your tablet somewhere and you go do something. I think Pokemon could succeed. Shooters have no place on mobile. They just don't. You don't like. They don't. Like there's multiple reasons why they should be on consoles, why they should be on PC, and I don't even want to go into the negatives because I think like pointing out the negatives is really silly. But as far as like a competitive aspect, as soon as you go into mobile, you start treading waters on being like kind of like a gacha game where you're trying to like milk the most amount of money out of your game, and that almost eliminates a whole player base from it, right? Like China. Like as soon as you try to grab too much money from kids, you're automatic. Like the Chinese Gaming Commission will shut you down. It's even the reason why Fortnite doesn't exist.
Yeah, even if you try to take too much time from kids playing, if you want the daily active users to have more than 2 hours, they just cut.
Yeah, they don't like it, which is good. Like I really do appreciate that. That's China's the reason why we know the rates on Overwatch skins that have that with loot boxes.
On anything that has to be developed and sold in China, they have to release the percentages. Honestly, coming from somebody who worked in sports betting and casino, that's a very big regulation to see the RTP, return to player, just to know that, blackjack might return 60 something % on average. And that's an average over like tens of thousands of players. But it's very important to see what kind of hit back you're basically going to get.
Exactly. So I don't really know what they're going to do with this. And if it's going to have any any story mode features, right? But it says like cross progression features and stuff like that. So it's obviously, and this would be my opinion, obvious to me that this is just going to be trying to keep you off of other games. This is specifically designed to get you to play their mobile game so that you can get a skin for your console game or what have you, so you can earn something for the game that you do play. So to me, is kind of garbage. Like, just let me play other games and let me come back to your good game. It's a better way of doing it.
It does feel like a place where they're going to try to just get you to play the game more and then get you to buy more. And hardware wise, I think phones are getting fast enough, strong enough. Internet's still going to be kind of sketchy, and this net code that some games really work on, it's kind of garbage, and that makes a big difference for competitive or ranked kind of situations. But
what's the biggest downfall for mobile gaming? It's the cooling. Like they're powerful computers just in general, but they're little batteries. I mean, like, even if we take controls out of it, like how long can that little battery? Because like the whole thing is essentially like a battery with a motherboard, right? Like how can it keep itself cool, right? Like it doesn't have a real good cooling system. Even the new iPhone overheats when I have it in the car. So playing like music if the sun's on it for too long. So
that's a different. That's also you're adding the sun with that. But either way, like, I think this is a strategy to just get people to play more, increase their daily active users where they could just pick it up rather than having to sit down. They're attacking the dad gamer, I think, on this one. People who are interested but can't really dedicate more time to it, a certain amount of time to it. And it's maybe it's also getting a whole new audience into it, right? Like that could be a thing, and that could be a pipeline to competitive. As a whole, it's always good to see more audience, but like as a specific, hey, it's coming out. If you're interested, it's another way for you to play. Don't expect to play competitive and like seriously, because there's going to be certain limitations, like we said, talking about aiming, controls, and then heating of the hardware. Otherwise, processor, what I know in screen wise, graphic wise, it'll get the job done, even though it's still kind of like on the relative small side. But that seems to be more or less what we can talk about and go over, but we do have more pressing topics and stories to get into. That one was just the announcement. This is coming out on March 21st.